I was 6 years old, my mom left, and I was living with my father, my brother in Grayson County in Howe, Texas. My father would be out in the oil fields. It could be like a month to 2, maybe to 3 months. But he'd always come back, be there for a couple of days, and leave again. When we come home from school, and it get later and we get hungry, we'd get the cash that my father would give us, and we'd go to the Exxon, the nearest gas station, and go get some hot foods, like some chicken or something. And if not, then we'd go to Dollar General to get a loaf of bread. It was just something really fast to get used to. It was really us just being independent, me and my brother, and not having someone to teach us how to do things, and we had to figure it out on our own. When I was 12, months passed by and my father hasn't came home, and we had an idea that something bad happened to him or something like that. And so one of my uncles came over and they said that my father got deported. But it was just like what are we gonna do, you know? Well, we were still living in the same house that my father, like, is fully paid for, so we couldn't get evicted or anything like that. The electricity went out, and so did the water. Like, we bought like these, like, they're like these stick-on lights, and like we put them everywhere, like in the ceiling, you know, and have some light. There was an occasion that officers did come to the house, but we just never answered the door. One of my best friends, they're like, yeah, like, you don't need to be staying there. I left with him, and my brother, he stayed at the house. He stayed doing what he was doing, and I left. I was pretty depressed knowing that he left, and you know, I took a lot of it, like, you know, this is my fault, you know, like, I wasn't there, you know, and I left him alone. So I stayed there maybe like a weekend, maybe a little bit over a weekend, and like randomly, like, you know, my father's coworker ended up showing up. I let him in, and he was like, I can help you out with money, but you have to give up school and you have to come, and you won't be living here no more. He took me to Allen, Texas to get a fake ID so I could get a position in the same company that my father worked at. And the boss knew that I was my father's son, and so he got me in an RV to stay at the back, so that's where my living situation was. I stayed in an RV. My first place I ever went was Kansas City. From Kansas, I went to Georgia, and then from Georgia, then I went to California. While I was working on a rig in North Carolina, like, the whole rig started shaking, and eventually, like, one of the wires snapped, and that's where one of the pipes fell, and I got hit in the head, and I was unconscious until I woke up in the hospital. There were a lot of people around me, and I heard him, like, he has no family, so I got put in CPS. I don't need another family. Like, that's what I felt inside. But at that point, it was like, just felt so alone, you know. I guess I didn't really feel like I had a purpose, you know, just a burden. So I got picked up in the middle of the night, and my friend that I grew up with from Sherman, Texas, came and picked me up, and he took me back, like, where me and my brother grew up. And one of my former school teachers from elementary, she found me, and she told me that there is a place called Life Ricks in Austin. If I could get there, like, they could help me out. My only, like, option was, like, you know, like, to get there, you know. And I went to the public library, and I printed off directions, and like, that's where my journey started. I grabbed my bags and I started walking, like, on Highway 75. And if I had to, you know, I was gonna walk the whole way. I had hope, you know, a fresh new start. You know, that's what I felt like, hope and a new beginning for me, you know. And as I was walking, there's this pickup truck that turned around and stopped right next to me. And he pointed a gun, not at me, he just showed it. And he was like, you know, like, don't try anything, put your bags inside. I just did, I just got in, you know. I don't see my situation being any better, I guess. So, I did. He told me, like, you know, I'll help you and I'm gonna take you to the Greyhound station. And he asked me how much money I had, and I told him, and he said he's gonna give me $100 from the bank to pay for my bus ticket. When I first got to LifeWorks, I talked to this lady named Brooke, and I saw like all these like, I guess there's like these positive vibes around everybody, you know, so concerned, like a little family, you know, like, you know, something that I didn't have, you know.
When Christian arrived, I think what we all noticed right off the bat was how genuine he was. I think at first it was difficult for him to tell his story, to open up and trust staff, but Christian really pushed through a lot of that. I guess I saw him work through that and could see him making decisions to try to trust and to try to engage with us.
They gave me like suggestions and stuff like that, like maybe you should try this out, you know. They don't tell you, like, hey, like you're doing this wrong, you know, like they're not telling you you're wrong.
What our youth often experience in their journeys is they experience a lot of people telling them where they need to go in their journey. Their experience with LifeWorks, it's the first place that they've been asked, hey, where do you want to go in life, and how can we help you get there?
Before I came to LifeWorks, I felt lost. I blame myself for everything that ever happened. You know, like my mom, my father. I just couldn't find a way to get past that. And now that I'm at LifeWorks, I feel like I have a purpose, you know. I feel happy, you know.
At LifeWorks, we've been able to provide Christian with really some of the basic necessities, the shelter, food, and we're really excited because now he's going to be able to move into a LifeWorks apartment.
I got back, I'm getting my GD, and I'm a youth ambassador. You know, I spread my word about, you know, like about what I lived through and how like LifeWorks has like made this positive like outcome, you know. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know.